I'm gonna show you how to make this delicious pizza at home. First, you're gonna get a bowl and you're gonna put 2.5 cups of warm water. And you're gonna be using 1 whole packet of the active dry yeast. You're gonna mix it a little bit and then you're gonna be putting 1 teaspoon of sugar. Mix it and you're gonna let it sit for, I say 13 to 15 minutes. And while it's sitting, you're gonna go ahead and get another bowl and you're gonna put 7 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, and then you're gonna try to build a little bridge in a hole so you can put 6 tablespoons of oil. I used canola oil, and once the yeast is ready, you're gonna go ahead and pour it in your flour and you're gonna mix it together with a spoon. I do it with a spoon a little bit, that way it doesn't make a mess. Once it's all together, you're gonna go ahead and knead it with your hand for a few minutes. On a clean surface, you're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of flour and you're gonna keep kneading the dough for 10 to 15 minutes until it's nice and soft. I go ahead and I put in a timer. That way I know exactly I'm kneading at the time that it's need to, because it's very important. Like right here, it's changing. The texture of it is changing. You wanna make sure it's nice and soft and bouncy. Once it's ready, you're gonna go ahead and get another bowl. You're gonna put a little bit of oil and then you wanna make sure the whole dough has oil and you're gonna let it sit. You want to go ahead and make sure it's tight. I go ahead and I put some plastic wrap on top of it. And you're going to let it sit there for an hour. Once the hour passes, it should look like this, nice and soft and bouncy. And you're going to go ahead and put a little bit of flour again. Put it down. And you're going to mix it all together for a minute or two. Not too much. Once it's ready, you're going to go ahead and cut it into 4 pieces. So this dough will make 4 different pizzas. You're gonna cut it into 4s like this, and you're also gonna make it into little balls, and you're just gonna knead a little bit again, just like a minute or two. Make it into a ball and then put it to the side. Once you do the same thing to all 4 of them, you're gonna put a little bit of light flour on top again, and you're gonna let it sit there for another 30 minutes to an hour until they're nice and big like this. They go really big, you guys. They were bigger than my hand. And then from here, you're gonna form it into the pizza. You're gonna stretch and press the whole dough until you make it as big as you want the pizza. I made it this big. It stretches a lot. Once you have your pan, once it's ready, you go ahead and you put it on your pan. I am gonna make this a stuffed crust. I am using mozzarella pizza. You go ahead and wanna put a little bit on the edge, and then you wanna go ahead and fold the dough inwards. That way it stays in there, and you're gonna go ahead and do this to the whole pizza around. And then I do go ahead and poke a little bit of holes with the fork. You can make your sauce or you can buy it, up to you, however you like. This is just tomato sauce. And then we're going to go ahead and sprinkle more mozzarella pizza on top. And then you can add any toppings you want. I just went ahead and just added pepperoni just because this is for the kids. And then I melted some butter and I put Italian seasoning. And then I go ahead and just put it around the edges. You're going to go ahead and put it in the oven at 500 degrees for 13 minutes. And look, it was so delicious.